All right, welcome back, guys. In the last video, we went through and kind of got all these cleaned up. There was a few things we had to fix on the front and the back. We've got all that resolved. So now we're gonna go through and get them all tuned up correctly. So follow along and see the process I use. It may or may not be the right one, but it's the process I'm using anyway. All right, so I've been out here working on trying to get this tuned. I've got the first note tuned pretty much dead on. Not perfect, but it's almost dead on. If I look at it, that's supposed to be an A, and it hits an A just almost right dead center. So then I move up to the B flat, and I'm way flat of the B flat. I'm gonna have to take off quite a bit of the PVC material. Now what I'll do is take the existing pipe out and try to replace it with a smaller one and see if I can find the one that fits. But the problem I'm having is this. I hit the note and I look at the tuner and I say, okay, now I've got to figure out which note it is. And this is so confusing when you're sitting here trying to trace the pipes. Let me come grab the camera and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. So we're gonna hit the B flat, and now I can look at the tuner, and it is registering as a B flat, but it is flatter than it should be. So now I'm going to walk around here and say, okay, I know I've got to take off some amount of tube. I know it's this guy. So, you get under here, you follow the pipe down, and it goes back in there and comes out, and I think it's this guy right here, but it's just so hard to know. That's my big problem, is trying to relate what I'm hitting up here to which one of these tubes it is. So I'm thinking I need to try to mark them. I've got my label maker over here. So I think I'm gonna take an air compressor maybe and drop a hose down in here and let it blow some air. And then I can figure out which tube down here is the correct tube and label at least maybe the lower octave. I think as I get up a little higher, some of the shorter notes are gonna be easy to trace, but some of these long ones that travel along the bottom and go kind of behind and then come out, it's really hard to find where they're coming out at. So let me give that a try. It's gonna be loud with the compressor on, but at least it'll give you an idea of what I'm doing. All right, that seems to work pretty good. You know, ironically, even with the air in there, sometimes it is a bit hard. You can almost hear the hiss of the air coming out easier than you can feel it. But anyway, that did allow me at least to get 3. I got 3 of them labeled, and then of course my Peach Touch started running out of the material, so I couldn't print any more labels. But at least I got 3 labeled, so I can start working on getting those tuned up now. All right, as we showed a minute ago, I'm gonna hit the B flat, and then if I look at the tuner, we're definitely seeing it go flat of the B flat. So now we're gonna try to pull out this tube, which now I know which one it is. It's this guy right here. All right, so let's just say we want to maybe take it. Okay, so that's the original. And then we're gonna put this guy in and see what we get. So we've got a shorter tube now. And let's try it. Needs to be just a hair shorter. Let me bring the camera over here so you can see what I'm seeing on the... See, it needs to be straight up, and I'm still just a little bit flat. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit more off of that pipe. Okay, so I was this long. Let's try this guy. That actually looks good. Let me bring the camera and let you see it. It maybe could be a hair longer, but it's definitely much closer than it was before. So let's get it set up so you can see it here. See, it bounces to the sharp side just a hair, but at the same time, it stays right in the middle quite a bit. So I think we're probably good with that one. And again, you know, one thing the Blue Man Group mentioned when they start talking about tuning their PVCs is it is a constant challenge trying to keep them in tune, because just like anything, these are all made out of material that's going to expand or contract a little bit depending on the weather, and it's going to make tuning really difficult. This is not like a horn that you can, you know, you've got valves you can slide in and out and tune. You know, there's 32 notes on here you'd have to tune, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge. So I think we're good with the B flat, so let's move up to the B. The B actually looks sharp. So we'll look at the B. And it registers as a B, but it shows that it is sharp. So that means we're going to need to make the B note just a little bit longer, ironically. And the low B is right here, which I'm shocked it needs to be longer. I mean, I can take this guy that is a little bit longer, and we'll try it. That is pretty close, not perfect. I could probably cut off just a smidgen. Is that the official term there? Cut off just a smidgen from this. But you can see where we go. So at the most, I wouldn't want to cut off much. I may have taken a smidgen too much. I should have took half a smidgen. All right, well, that's the idea of tuning this thing. So that's really, you know, when it comes down to it, that's about 3 notes worth. I've got about 10 times that to do. There's 32 of these, so got the first 3 tuned really close, not 100% dead on. You know, and again, if it is a little bit, if I need to flatten it just a little bit, I've got some additional couplers I could stick on the end. You can always put, say you can always take off, but you can always add a little more too. It just may require a coupler. But I think that's the way I'm gonna need to do this, is just work my way down and get this completely knocked out. But that gives you an idea of what tuning's about. All right, well, there you go. It's a pretty long process just to get a few of these notes tuned. I remember when I was looking, watching YouTube videos before I built this, and I would see people talking about it, and they would be like, hey, I built this cool thing. It took me a month or so to get it built, and then it took me 2 months to get it tuned. I was like, what is wrong with you people? Just go tune it. What's the big deal? And I'm starting to understand the complexity of trying to tune this thing. With the way the pipes are routed all over the place, it really gets complex trying to find them. You take off a little bit too much when you need to take off just a little bit, and you take off a little too much. Now you've got to go add more. You got to add a coupler. It really gets complex to get it exactly where you want it. But anyway, I am working my way down. You saw the process of what I went through. I think it is a good process. It just takes a while. So I'm actually considering now moving this in the house. At least then I'd be able to spend a little bit more time getting the rest of it tuned. I'm probably, right now I didn't show near where I was. I'm about halfway done. I've still got all the upper ones to do, but I'm going to get them tuned up and get ready to make some videos. So I appreciate you guys watching. You'll have a great day.